Do you think they'll come back?
Of course they will. Just a weakness.
Ah, guten Tag. Ich merke, mein Ton war aus. So, jetzt aber. Gib mal meine Sidequests her und dann geht's weiter mit dem neuen.
Mid, tell me this is all you need.
Aw, you make it sound like I asked you to save the world or something.
Tell me this is all you need.
It's most of what I need. After you left, I went over the figures again, and I realised I'd forgotten a 1 and a 0.
And
And a cogwheel. Just a tiny one. Though, that's the problem. Gears that small are a bastard to make, and I may have lost the one Blackthorn spent a fortnight toiling over.
wait. The children. When they took apart your scales, there was a tiny brass gear. Now that I think about it, they didn't use it when we put the scales back together.
The young'uns? But why would the... You know what? I don't want to know. I'll keep working on the model. You go and find that cog.
Yes, ma'am.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
Not exactly.
Sid! Is Mid still hiding from us?
She wasn't hiding. She's fine. She's just busy working on her next project.
A new invention? What is it? What is it? Is it an airship? I bet it's an airship!
This
Do you
is
think she'll let
slow.
us help?
That just so happens to be why I'm here. She needs something special, something only you three can provide. A brass gear. A tiny one. One that might fit on, say, a set of scales?
Oh, the one you forgot! We remember!
We saved it, just in case. It's in the bag of bits.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then reassembling everything we can find. All the pieces that are left over, we keep under our beds, just in case.
That's good to know.
Look,
Wie viele Sachen sind gerade am
I found it!
Zerbrechen, ne?
Is that all? Just the gear? We have more parts if Mid needs them.
That's all for now. But I'll let Mid know about your hoard. Just in case.
Thanks, Sid.
Ich finde das faszinierend, wie er das anders meint die ganze Zeit. Und die Kinder verstehen das auf ihre eigene Art und Weise. Schön gemacht.
Well, did they have it?
They did. And they kept it somewhere nice and safe. Will it work?
Will it work? He's perfect! You're a genius, Clive.
What exactly are you going to use it for?
Only the most important job of all. The wings aren't going to move on their own. But with the right cog in the right place... Well, you just wait and see.
Die braucht ja bestimmt mehr als nur einen dafür. Die Flügel haben ja 2.
That should do it.
Ach, die hat Hubschrauber gemacht. Ein Hubschrauberschiff.
Here goes nothing. Titan's tits.
Was bitte?
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The Mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes. Children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head? Or do I follow my heart?
Good question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my Mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it ain't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them.
Okay, what's this?
A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out. Ooh, I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad always said, dream big. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one. And I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do.
Aiming high. Model airship. Curiosity. Midst dangerous dream of flight. Immortalized in miniature. My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. Be a dreamer, huh? What is our dream? Nachricht. That which conquers all. Ah, yeah. Here, not long removed from when last you placed yourself between us and peril, I sit and pen yet another letter, in which I try and find the words to somehow express the gratitude of an entire town. Still, something feels different about our latest strength. Where in the past we leaned ever so heavily upon your good graces, this time we found strength elsewhere, in ourselves. Our hardship has shown us that which should have been apparent all along, we are not as different as we want to believe. Does a peasant love his homeland any less than a noble? Does a bearer love his family any less than another man does his own? It is this love that has united us and given us true strength. Should ever thrall, Akashic bandit, and brigand in the realm come charging our gates, we will not fret, we will not falter, we will fight, and we will win. Einhound. The two of you have been together for what probably feels like a lifetime now, but there's still a lot you have not learned. Have, you have to learn about that hound of yours. He'd step in front of a bloody raging behemoth if it meant protecting you. But that doesn't mean that don't mean you should take it for granted. At the end of the day, he's a hound, and sometimes he just wants someone to pet his head and rub his belly and give him a handful of coconuts. Oh, really? You do good to remember that. A hideaway welcome. Ada seems fond of the silver bow we gave her so much, so she's been taking to setting it atop her belly as she rests. To hear her tell it, the rascal kicks something fierce when she does too. Sounds like we have another fighter in our hands, and none too soon. I can hardly wait to teach our newest little curse breaker everything I know. Though I suppose we can all celebrate first. No need to get ahead of ourselves now. Ja, der wird ja eine Weile brauchen, ne? I am not so foolish, a new day. I am not so foolish to believe that a single shaming at the hands of the town urchins can dispel a lifetime of hatred built up in one's heart, just as a pot cannot be made clean by reminding it of its grime. It takes effort, persistence, and more often than not, a stiff brush and bucket of lye. But more than that, it takes time. Fortunately, your courage and leadership has granted us just that. We need now decide whether to embrace or to waste it. A wise man once said, the night is always darkest before dawn. It is a good thing, then I count me one who burns so bright amongst my friends. Lubor. The wages of fate. Do you remember what you told me that night at Phoenix Gate? That while the fate of Rosaria sits on my shoulders, the fate of its dominant sits upon yours. But are we not both dominants of fire? Does not the flame of our forebears burn in both our hearts? Should I not protect you as you have protected me? You have chosen to be my shield. Now let me choose to be yours. Is this not what your father wanted, what our father wanted? What Sid wanted? To cast aside fate and forge our own path? Grant me this, Clive. Let me be your strength. Joshua. Concern for Jill. Though her icon brought her much suffering, the loss of Shiva weighs heavy on her heart, and we would be poor friends indeed if we not seek to lighten that burden, even but only a fraction before we depart for the skies. I would speak on this more in private. Joshua. Heed Joshua's request. Of course.
If Joshua's worried about Jill, I should go and speak with him.
Priceless. Ich habe ja die Tasten hier geändert. Wo ist bei mir rechts? Hier. The emblem of the Vale, Northridge's far famed house of ill repute. The town is the gateway to the imperial capital of Oriflamme, where waves of old money and new lap against the opposing sides of the Great War. However, the Vale's proprietor, Isabella, knows it best as a safe haven in a storm. The town that took in her and the men she loved when the rest of the world shunned them. Was ist mit dem Mann eigentlich passiert? Ich habe das irgendwie überhört. Briar's Kiss signboard. The emblem of the Briar's Kiss, the finest forge in Dalami, run by its puckish and precocious young forge master Lubor. He inherited both his forge and the role of desert heir from his predecessor, the original Rosanna Dalami. Though the majority of Dalami he won entirely by his own merits. Majority? Nee. Mayor, weil er Mayor geworden ist. Majority. Okay. Was ist das mit Blumen? Aha. Das hat den Mond. Rusted battle helm. Archduke Elwin's helm, won in his victorious campaign to quell the northern uprising, and later laid to rest upon his memorial stone. Now it sleeps in Sid's chambers, a constant reminder of the bravery and selflessness of the men in whose footsteps he and his brother mean to follow. Ach, da ist das Schiff. Midst dangerous dream of flight, immortalized in miniature. Though the experiment ended in failure, Mid has allowed Clive to keep hold of the model, so that once her renown has grown, he might sell the piece for an exorbitant amount of gil. Die Geschäftsfrau schlechthin. Doch kein Flugschiff. The Triunity Accord, signed in Port Isolde by representatives from Rosaria, Dalmatia, and Sunbreak. This mutual accord sets the stage for a new age in Storm, if not officially, then at least in spirit. Das ist ja der gleiche Text nochmal. Wintermead, a gift from Gav. This potable is made from honey collected in the northern territories, shot summers and fermented slowly over the next 6 months. Despite an obvious inability to hold his drink, Gav has insisted that he be allowed to share the bottle when the time comes to crack the seal. Haben wir auch schon gelesen. Medicine chest. Achso, das ist das Neue. A beautiful carved chest that opens to reveal countless compartments full of tonics and tinctures. As Clive often proved a difficult patient reluctant to come to the infirmary, Taya commissioned this curio that he might take a part of the infirmary with him. Also, das ist das Ding. Ich dachte, das kann ich tatsächlich mit. Tisch voll mit Sachen, ne? Signboards. Oh, das ist ja ein richtiger großer Mond hier. Aber mir fehlt noch ein bisschen was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sachen fehlen mir. Okay, aber ich habe ja noch Sidequests. Vielleicht muss ich auch mit Leuten einfach reden, so wie mit der Kist. Medizinkist.
Joshua, I read your message. You're right. Jill is different. I don't think I'd realized how different, but since we returned from Drake's spine, I've felt it more and more.
I suppose it's not hard to imagine why.
She doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind her she is still one of us. To let her know that we still need her, now more than ever. That you still need her. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were but children.
Oh.
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour of
You
the
need to be
duchy?
careful now.
And Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up Man's Hill.
To see the snow daisies, I remember. It was the first time Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pot boys combing the countryside.
In the rain.
Yeah. I can feel. Yep. I can feel. Yes. I can feel. So fast. Change so fast. 5 days.
Difficult and fighting.
I know. So strong. That's so strong. No. You want? So we'll be surprised for her, no?
A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we'd even made it halfway there. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he was none too pleased.
Then it seems you and Jill have unfinished business. What do you say?
Man's Hill. It's not that far.
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosaria remains as it was when we were children.
You're saying I should go and scout the area for bandits?
I'm saying we should first go and see if there are actually still any snow daisies left. What would you do without me, Clive?
Kill everything. In that way. In his way. Auch wieder zurück. Ah! Jetzt. Ein Jill Quest. Endlich offen. Ich kann hier durch. But no daisies.
This is the place, but
Warum sollten sie abgestorben sein?
I'm sorry, Clive.
Vooral noisy drumherum
There's
is
no
wel eens
evidence of
groen.
it. What do we do now?
En zo blijd.
We keep looking. Man's Hill cannot be the only place where snow daisies grow.
Perhaps, but it's the only place I know of. Knew of.
Then why not ask someone who might know of another?
Someone at the backyard? To the hideaway, then.
So either way. Also war einfach nur die Fläche. Ne? Das ist enttäuschend.
Let's hope one of the gardeners knows where to find snow daisies.
Garteners hinten. Neuer Brief ist eingegangen.
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen our... This should tide us over until the new moon.
Oh. What brings you down from the heavens, Sid?
I need your advice. Joshua and I are looking for a place where snow daisies grow. Preferably in abundance.
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not too hot and not too cold. And where the winds are strong enough to carry the seeds. I reckon Man's Hill would be a good place to start. There in the Royal Meadows, perhaps? Both have similar climbs and the right elevation. If the Blight hasn't claimed them yet.
Right. Thank you.
Kennen sich aber gut
You
aus.
learn where we might find our flowers.
The gardener here mentioned the Royal Meadows in Sambrek.
Ah, the fields beyond Northreach. Well, if that's the case, then Yote was right. I recalled that she kept the record of our travels, you see. So I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew, and she mentioned Oilerfeist Bay.
Whose shores border the meadows. Off we go then.
Off we go. Durch die Stadt.
And how might I help the garrison today?
Let's go. Run like the wind. The meadows are vast. Where do we even start? What?
Yote mentioned the coastline. We can start there.
Meinst du, er sieht nicht das grüne Zeichen, das uns sagt, wo wir hinlaufen sollen? Kann das sein? Das ist er. Innere. Ah, das sieht gut aus. Was Weißes hinten.
Look, brother. You see them?
I do. The flowers and our friends.
What
do you see, boy?
Ein großer Boss. Ah, Horus.
Let's hope this is the last one.
Oh, der verfolgt mich
Only
ja.
one way to find out.
Ich kann einfach weglaufen. Ah. Wo sind denn neue Gegner? Die sind da oben. Lass mal Toggle kämpfen. Oh, ich hasse es, wenn die diesen Sprung machen. Haben die anderen aufgeräumt, sage ich. Bleib liegen, bleib liegen. Flawless. A mane used in everything from helm crests to hair brushes, primarily by those people lucky enough to never to have met with a minotaur. Minotaur. And lo did Sir Crandall strike the mane from the beast and rob him of his strength. Wer ist Crandall? Der ist schon das zweite Mal, oder das dritte Mal, dass ich das sehe.
That was harder than I expected.
Wer war Crandall?
But Founder, it was worth it. They're beautiful.
Do you think Jill will like them?
She'll love them. Come on. Let's go.
Also übrigens jetzt hier, oder? Dann sind sie verblüht, so lange wie die hier rumreisen.
It appears my work is done. The rest, as they say, is up to you. Well, you and the skies. We wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
Steht auf dem Balkon.
Must we away? The time is nigh, Ifrit.
Er nennt mich immer Ifrit. Zwei sogar. Treasure hunt. What? You didn't think I were just saying that stuff about hiding my engine, did you? Wouldn't you know I have already a fine spot picked out and everything. But if you are going to go on this grand adventure, you need to be quick about your business with the druddy god of yours. Take too long, and somebody more clever might beat you to the prize. I suppose in that case I could bury you one of my lesser inventions. Goddess knows I've countless. Okay. The triunity. Bringing together three men from different backgrounds was not to be without some difficulty. However, come together we did, for a better Valistea. The triunity was but a first step. A longer, more bitter journey awaits us all, one that will almost certainly end in hardship. Yet what matters most is not the destination, but what we can learn from one another while on the road there. You have paved the road for us with your courage, Clive. Now we must have the courage to walk it. Your loving uncle. So.
Jill, there's something I'd like to show you.
There is? And where might this something be?
It's, not here. Now, I know this is sudden, but how would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
Yeah, let's go. Cassandra and the Lost Continents. Und 10 Sekunden später, wir sind da.
There are so many.
Zum Glück
This
auch
is
noch
what you
da.
wanted to show me.
Nicht verblüht in der Zeit.
I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. The smile on your face is enough. We've been worried about you, Joshua and I. Do you remember when I took you to Man's Hill? Or tried to?
How could I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my spirits. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother. But I felt wonderful nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was getting us both into. But I couldn't bear to see you like that.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects with some of the noblewomen at court. They were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I wanted.
Was, Brenda?
That hurt you.
45. Yes.
Sad. Zero.
Yeah, 45.
One. Nothing.
0. Uh-huh. Yeah, but 45. Good food.
I was nothing to them.
I can eat too.
Pawn at best. I felt so trapped. So lonely.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there. Your hand in mine as we ran for those oaks. And I knew then, no matter what happened, I would be all right. I'll never forget that feeling. Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized that no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
Een vraag, Clive.
I don't know.
Questions.
Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then that's what you'll have. And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
I never was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
Thank you, Clive. For this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure.
Wie romantisch.
We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
And we'll do it together.
She was kissed. Was ist das denn für eine Sessel? Song of Winter, Autumn Gone, From Frosted Lips, Oblivion. Not a nursery rhyme.
Okay. No.
Maybe cut? If it's too soft, throw it. Snow daisy garland, a fragrant diadem, hand-woven by Jill, from flowers picked on the shores of kann ich nicht aussprechen, Bay. I never was much good at gardens, but it will have to do. Ach, die ist ja mit mir jetzt unterwegs. Ne? Schön zertrampeln alles. Bösewicht. Was ist das eigentlich für ein Kristall da hinten? Sehe ich schon die ganze Zeit hier. Oh, wem war ich erschrocken? Was war das denn? Ich dachte, das wäre schon hier das Ende. Vielleicht geht's runter. Das zeigt irgendein Kristall dahin. Mhm. Gut, dann gehen wir mal zurück. Muss ich nicht ins neue Gebiet. Da haben wir hier die Quests. 1, 2, 3. Gehe ich von unten hoch. Dann zuerst ins Gefängnis. Gehe mal davon aus, dass das Gefängnis sein soll. Unten.
Let's go.
Da kann der Chocobo sich mal ordentlich hier auspowern.
Might this be Nickelberg?
Be safe.
Oh, you're back.
Just starting, no?
Where need to go?
In 1 hour. I can eat already. You can. Me in 1 hour.
These people aren't turned. And
Ja,
the
sind
village
doch die
seems safe
Bearer.
enough at least. What is going on here?
Ah, did you too heed the call?
Heed the call? No, I came here looking for someone. To be honest, I wasn't sure I'd find him here. Let alone all of you.
Is that so?
What are you doing here? Is this where you live?
It is my home. The others, they heeded the call.
You keep saying that. What do you mean?
They came here to perform the rite, just as King Barnabas instructed. This village is their altar, where they shall cast their shoals upon the gentle waters and give themselves to the Lord.
Give themselves.
Oh, Lord, cleanse us of our sins.
Of our will.
Let us be reborn in your loving arms.
Free us from the torment of this mortal realm.
They want to be saved.
Yeah.
Forgive me. But did another foreigner, like me, come here? He was probably wearing a cowl.
You mean the traveler from Storm? Yes. He's staying at my house, toward the rear of the village.
Thank you. If you don't mind, I'll go and greet him.
They seek the same salvation Barnabas did. At least the third chair still lives. Let's go and find him.
Let us be made pure. Let us be made divine.
Ja, die Hoffnung stirbt immer zuletzt. Vor allem, so was genau beten sie? Ist hier irgendwas? Ne, hier ist nur das Dorf. Also im Zirkel einfach beten. Verschiedene Wege. Kiste. Nichts hier. Ein Schmied. Das Haus. So, als hätte er hier Tiere, aber keine Tiere mehr. Solcher Putz. Und das ist jetzt von Cyril, glaube ich, der Kasten. The Chronicles of Merkwa, being a collection of tales as recounted to his most exalted majesty, Lord Bjornhand of the Valdemar. As you are no doubt aware, Lord Bernhard, there was once a race of men who commanded the most forbidden of forbidden magics. But did you ever hear tell of the executors, those charged with driving out these heretics? The order had its origins in the crystalline dominion, by whose ruler's decree it was tasked with the protection of mankind, and sent forth to extinguish the forbidden magic wherever rumors of its use might arise. Having in due course succeeded in their mission and driven the utterers of the unutterable from the land, these secretive souls withdrew from the stage of history, never to be heard of again. Die haben die schwarzen Magier, sag ich mal, vertrieben und ihre Mission erfüllt. Dann waren sie verschwunden. Da steht der Kapuzentyp.
Excuse me. Are you with the Undying?
I am. And so it would appear, are you?
Er kennt ihn nicht.
Field, if I am not mistaken.
Doch, hat ihn
That's
nicht.
right. And you must be the third chair.
I am.
Cyril was worried for your safety. He sent me to find you.
Then I must apologize. I did not mean to trouble the bearer of the burning quill. Much less you, my Lord Marquis.
He said that you had failed to report. Is there a reason for that?
I came here to study the followers of this new faith. But the more I learned of them, the more my own faith began to falter. You have seen them at their prayers, have you not?
Will auch errettet.
They devote themselves to the veneration of their Lord with a fervor I have never seen before.
Really?
Praying night and day that they might be rid of their wicked wills and reborn in their Saviour's light. Not that they might be granted respite from their worldly woes, but so that they might continue to serve him. Serve him with all of their beings. I, too, swore to devote my life to the service of my Lord and Master, but this... 'tis different. It is more. And so I would see it through to the end. See these people safe, that they might achieve their dream. That they might do their duty to their Lord. Even if it should keep me from doing my duty to mine.
You do understand what their dream is, don't you?
I do, my lord. They would cast aside their wills and become a Kashik. I know that it may be hard to believe, but to these people, that is the very essence of salvation. Forgive me, my lord, but I must remain here. If you are to return to Master Cyril, I would consider it a great... Did you hear that, my lord? Something is happening.
I'll go find out what. Stay here.
Stay here.
Beneath the flood. Oh no.
Immer zur rechten Zeit am rechten Ort. Ach, sogar die Roboter sind hier.
Echoes as well. Found her.
Wo sind die denn hier?
Ready, brother? Ready.
Wie die das den Gegner immer weiter hochtreiben, obwohl ich ihn runtergebracht habe. Komm, was Großes jetzt. Ach, weil das ja... Stimmt, das ist ja Lift. Gar nicht gleich erkannt. Wieder der Ritter, aber in Rot. Haben wir ihn schon in allen Farben gesehen, ne? Jede. Ganz in Rot versuchte mich zu töten. Tight heißt der Title. Ah. Das eine Anspielung ist. Na, konnte nicht mehr rechtzeitig ausweichen und dann macht er einen Doppelangriff. Ja, beides verfehlt. Ja, zum Glück habe ich noch mehr. Oh. Ups. Also der Blitzangriff reicht vom Timing her auf jeden Fall aus. Das freut mich sehr. Down he goes. Und ein Level Up. 88. Ja, noch ein Lichtschwerttyp da. Hat er dein Leben doch gegeben am Ende des Tages, ne? Wie so eine Puppe.
Don't you die. Come on, speak to me.
I had to save them, that they might have a chance to find true salvation. By devoting themselves to the service of their Lord.
Die sind ja schon teilsäckig.
when the Undying plucked me from the gutter and gave me a cause to believe in. A duty to serve was everything to me, and I would not deny them that fulfillment, even if they must become a Kashik in order to achieve it. Forgive me, my Lord Marquis. I did not mean to trouble you with this. My findings. Could you deliver them to Master Cyril for me?
Of course. Your duty will be done.
Verwandeln die sich und ich kill die alle.
Look, my lord.
Die verwandeln.
They are saved.
Oh, der Tod ist der wahre Befreiung. Ne? Dann marschieren die raus, die greifen ihn da nicht an. Wieso wisst ihr? Ja. Ein perfekter Abschluss.
They are saved. Found her. I should get this report to Cyril.
My Lord Marquis, welcome back.
Sieht er nicht
I'm
irgendwie
glad
anders
to
aus?
see you hale and whole.
Hat sich
I met with
umgezogen?
your third chair, Cyril. He bade me deliver his findings to you.
Der hat doch die ganze Zeit auch so eine Kapuzenangabe wie der Third Chair. The Third Chair's report into the teachings of an Ashen Savior kind. Its outer edges stained with the same man's life.
Thank you, my lord. He remained in Ash?
He died protecting the villagers from an echo. I buried him in Mickelberg. I'm sorry that I couldn't save him.
If you could not save him, no one could.
The villagers, they were believers in this savior cult. They prayed to their god that they might be unburdened of their wills. Then an ether flood came, and their wish was granted. Your brother sacrificed himself that they might live, even knowing that that life was death by another name.
Then he perished defending liberty. A hero's end. For the right to choose how one dies is no less sacred than the right to choose how one lives.
Sid would agree. He wanted to build a world where people could die on their own terms.
A noble ambition. To die for one's cause is the most perfect expression of one's faith. It matters not how misguided others might judge one's decision to be. Only that the decision is one's own. We live according to the teachings of our order. We believe in them. We protect them. And yes, we die for them. For better or worse, that is our creed.
But he didn't die for your creed. He died to save them. And you still believe that what he did was right.
I believe that he believed it was. We of the Undying are not slaves, but willing servants. And this was his will, the ultimate expression of it.
All right. I'd like to know this man's name, Cyril. To know the names of all the Undying who've fallen in the line of duty. They died serving my house. It's only right that I remember them. That is my duty.
Of course. I shall fetch the Book of Martyrs at once.
My
My
book.
lord, it has been, and shall ever be, the greatest honor of my life to serve House Rosfield. Though our duties may differ, yours is no less important. I pray with all my heart for your success. And were they here, I have no doubt but that every one of my fallen brothers and sisters would feel the same.
Ja, ein neues Signboard. Clayhurst signboard. The emblem of the Undying quarters in Tabor. The village is home to the finest leatherworkers and lapidaries in Dalmatia, who are little aware that their affable new neighbors are members of a secret society sworn to serve the Phoenix. Ach, das ist ihre Basis. Ich dachte, dem gefällt es nur hier, weil da auch Informationen sind, alte Informationen. Mhm, aber das ist ihr Headquarter. So, dann wieder zurück nach Ash. War doch Ash. Oh, das mache ich zuletzt. Mach das so. Das interessiert mich am meisten, was das hier sein könnte. Das ist für mich alles uninteressant. Aber die Arena. Ah.
Ready, go?
Yeah!
Kann ich drüber? Was ein imposantes Bauwerk hier. Und das Ding ist weg, ja? Das Crystal. Den haben wir den mächtig zerstört. Irgendwie gegen Ultima haben wir gekämpft und dann ist es zerbrochen.
The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in?
Also, das ist mit dem Buch von dem Sammler, glaube ich, Historiker. Da geht es um Vivian. Leider dunkler. A complete botany of Bane. Iter foetida or tail of wyvern. Okay. White of flower and black of root, the latter of which gives out an inky gold when cut or crushed. The tribesmen of northern storm prick their skin with their oaken needles, soaked in such, drawing curious patterns about their arms and legs in honor of their heathen gods. The goal is passing toxicate, that a simple drop taken by mouth may result in cramps most painful for 5 days and 5 nights, or if applied to a wound, certain death. Should a slip of the needle end a young warrior's life, it is said that this skin print failed to find favor among the heavens. Ah, yeah.
His interests were certainly varied.
True. Ooh. Oh, here. The folklorist of fabulary. The Moogle. Ah. No spirit or sprite appears more often in Valisthea folktales than the humble Moogle, though they are occasionally painted as mischievous souls akin to pixies or imps. Most stories depict them clumsy yet congenial spirits who delight in helping mankind with their daily labors. They are said to have sweet tooth, leading to the common superstition that one must not leave cakes or other sweetmeats uncovered overnight, lest naught remain but crumbs come morning. In appearance, they are described as being covered head to toe in soft white fur, excepting the small duck wings by which they are somehow able to take flight, and the brightly colored pompons that protrude from the tops of their heads. And yet there's one detail regarding the Moogle that most find more remarkable than even the orb that tops its brow: the fact that the creatures actually exist. Preposterous, I hear you cry. Everybody knows that Mughals are the stuff of legend. I quite agree, but every legend has its basis in truth. And in the case of the Mughal, the fact may be not so dissimilar to the fiction. Ancient bestiaries list the white mole whose feet do not touch the ground among the beasts of the realm, and the illustration beside the name, why, it is none other than the Mughal. Of course, it is true that the creatures are not known to still survive in the twins in the modern day. Perhaps their miniature wings carried them to other climes. Perhaps they were hunted to extinction, or perhaps, just perhaps, they do still live among us, hidden away far from human view. We know one. So here, from a distance. Ah, there is this. Chapter 16, wie das Spiel, The Fall of the Bearers. The emergence of the first magic adepts was widely heralded as a gift from the gods. Indeed, the title with which those with the gift came to the commonly known is most likely a contraction of bearer of the heavenly blessing, the wording used by the tribunes of the time. Those born with the blessing were lauded as living crystals and granted high office and plentiful reward for their status as chosen ones. Over the years, this reverence for their kind would become a full-fledged religion, led by the bearers themselves, a development that would prove faithful. The diverse nations of the time were unanimous of their disapproval of the founding of the Church, while the authorities had for years welcomed bearers into positions of power in their own structures of state. They were mistrusting of an organization led by bearers, for bearers. Efforts were immediately made to chasten the Church and its followers, banning members from holding office, evicting adherents from their homes, and breaking up meeting by force. The church responded by forming a volunteer army to resist this persecution, and yet it continued, creating a cycle of ever-increasing bloodshed and rancor, and a growing rift between those born with the blessing and those without. What began with beatings and street clashes would eventually spill over into an all-out war that consumed the greater part of the Twins for nigh a generation and decimated the population of men and bearers both. The deluge of blood that stained the land crimson and left an even more lasting mark upon the minds of the Palestinian people. After the bearers' last residence was crushed, the nations of Valistea came together to sign the Continental Accord that initiated the system of slavery that persists across the realm to this day. Its well-known phrase, bearers are other than human, has its roots in the bitter war of the years before, being the unblessed's only excuse for their calamitous refusal to allow the blessed to decide their own destinies. Also im Grunde sind die Bearer nicht ganz unschuldig gewesen. Die haben das zu sehr genossen am Ende des Tages, die Macht, die Kraft, die sie bekommen hatten, haben Positionen, erinnert mich ein bisschen an das Judentum gerade, die mehr oder weniger sich in der sozialen Schicht integriert haben, Vorteile gewonnen hatten. Und das ist dann ins Negative ausgebrochen. Ich meine, es war eine natürliche Entwicklung, aber ja, auch nicht ganz unlogisch. Da bin ich mal gespannt.
This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Sagen wir hier, Royal Intelligence Training Report. In the wake of the magic fire at Caernarvon in 873 and the subsequent depletion of our most highly practiced intelligences, all mainland strongholds were instructed to redouble training in clandestine maneuvers, improvised weaponry and assassination techniques, and dispatch promising volunteers to Stonehenge for inspection. This report details progress made by the stronghold at Garnick in reinvigorating Walut's ranks of esteemed intelligence. Was für ein Name? Intelligence. Okay. Also im Grunde könnte ich mich jetzt raus teleportieren, aber schau mal, soll ich hier noch kämpfen? Dann laufen wir mal hin.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Sind das die Leute, hä?
I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
Als ob. Easily sagt. Wo kommen die jetzt? Tauchen plötzlich auf? Keiner vor ihm gestanden, plötzlich ist er umzingelt. Die versuchen gar nicht, das irgendwie logisch zu gestalten. Also das habe ich ja schon mal gewusst. Der Arme. In Explosionen aufgegangen. So viel zu dem Thema, die kriegen das einfach. Ne? Da ist er wieder. Wie ein Geist.
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
No.
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves,
from
knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now.
Als ob er mir erlauben ist.
We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait.
Und schon ist der Geist weg.
Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about.
Er ist in ein freies Feld rausgelaufen und hat sich in Luft aufgelöst. Faszinierend. Also, ja. Ich meine, die konzentrieren sich im Grunde darauf, was sie erzählen, nicht wie sie es erzählen. Was natürlich keine schlechte Taktik ist. Vor allem, wenn man viel erzählen will. Aber ich denke, das Spiel wäre insgesamt viel, viel besser, wenn die auch sich die Mühe machen würden, das wie sie es erzählen, besser darzustellen.
Back to the stables, girl. This must be the orphanage. Hopefully the registry is still here.
So, die Orphanage, wieso wollte ich nochmal zur Orphanage? Irgendeine Registry. Was denn? Aha. Bedbugs Conservatory. A right of incorporation. Read. The Kingdom of Velut hereby incorporates this institution wherein juvenile bearers are to be granted the opportunity to give themselves in service to the state as soldiers, of course. Trainees succumbing to the crystal's curse or otherwise perishing are to be disposed of with all haste, of course. The graveyard is strictly reserved for the uncursed. Bearer disposed within its bounds is punishable by death. Also die werden als Service eingesetzt, aber nicht unbedingt gewertschätzt. Conditioning schedule. Today's exercises will consist of the press yard, 20 sandbags for such duration as instructor shall dictate. Furnace, burn intensity to be gradually increased. Live combat, 1 to 3 Hellbounds, depending on performance. Also Kampf, dann gegen Hitze und dann Kraft, oder was das erste mit dem
Conditioning. This is nothing short of torture. Herman wasn't exaggerating. It's a wonder he survived this place. I need to find that registry.
Und da sind die Arbeitscamps so ein bisschen. Ne? Wo muss ich denn hier lang? Die verwirrlichen. Der zeigt mir hier grün. Aber zeigt er auch grün. Das ist das andere Grün. Okay. Und dieses Grün ist eigentlich drumherum. Das soll die Registry. War die drinnen? Ach, die ist immer noch drinnen. Ach, da ist die Registry. I have recently learned that my own daughter was among the children turned to stone by the brutal training I subjected them to. I had not so much as thought of her since handing her over to the authorities as a babe. But inquiries with the military confirmed it. It was her. I had been torturing my own flesh and blood. And now I see her everywhere. Today one of the children smiled at me in the hope of receiving a few scraps from my table. It was her smile, the smile she inherited from her mother, the mother I killed for giving birth to a bear. Their ghosts have all come back to haunt me. Hast du auch verdient. My daughters, my wives, all of them, all those children, so many have died at my hand. I can bear the guilt no longer, and so I have decided tomorrow I too must die. It will be the last order I give those poor wretches, the last torment I subject them to. I will command them to tear me limb from limb, and inter my accursed corpse beneath the white tree, whose crooked hands reach to the sky in supplication. And besides me, my shame, my curse, the record of all their names, all those I have wrong. Aber dann hat er eher den einfachen Ausweg genommen, anstatt das
This
zu
reads like a
erdulden.
suicide note. Did the director go through with his plan? There's only one way to find out.
Anstatt versuchen, wieder Gutes zu tun und in Schande zu leben, hat er den einfachen Weg genommen, der Sack. Ein Bursche. Ein Baum, hat er gesagt. Der hier Baum wahrscheinlich.
Forked white tree. This must be the place. Could he really be buried here? There's something hidden among the roots. Let's see.
Ja, das war ja Papier, ne? Das müsste eigentlich auch zerfallen sein. Also der hat das irgendwie besonders vergraben.
This must be the registry.
Hans Lithification succumbed to conditioning. Lithification, das ist ja dieses Emanciation. Disciplined for attempted flight. Okay. Succumbed to conditioning. Ja. Bum, 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 bum. Ganz viel.
So many names. This place was a slaughterhouse. Where is the architect of all this misery?
Ist ja das. Verstehen Sie alles. In der Masse.
It's only a matter of time, I suppose.
I suppose too.
This place is cursed.
Das ist halt wieder, was ich meine, dass die jetzt alle aus dem Nichts kommen.
Nice try.
Und wer war jetzt der Kanonier oder was? Nicht mal fertig. Nimm das, du Unhold. Reicht mein Blick eigentlich bis dahin? Ich glaube ja. Hm. Nein, es ist ja Limb to Limb, müsste er zerfleischt worden sein. Also könnte er eigentlich gar nicht dabei sein. Ne?
I'm done here. Let's get the registry back to Herman.
Okay. So, und jetzt kommt das Spannende für mich.
Beres is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by a Kashik. I need to hurry.
Vor allem Doris. Was wollte denn Doris? Ach so, die hat ja diese gefunden. Ihren Master. Die Frau hat sie da gefunden gehabt. Und die hätte wohl Beres gefunden, die eingesperrt war. Naja, so war das.
No need to ride from here. There were no guards, I take it.
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the wardens ran. If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be.
Don't give up hope just yet. But let's move quickly. Let me check the ground floor. The ether stick is there.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. We're risking a lot just being here. Better keep my eyes open for signs of life. Locked up tight.
Okay. Da stand, er würde einen Schlüssel benutzen. Und das sah so aus, als würde er einen Schlüssel benutzen. Hm. Das ist der Key. Balmung Dark. Writ of designation. The Kingdom of Alud hereby designates this facility as a prison for the detainment of bearers both foreign and domestic. The purpose of this facility is to rear and train a Kusa beast for deployment in the field. The aforementioned purpose is a matter of strictest secrecy, and any mention thereof is to be punishable by death. Was war denn nochmal ein Kusa? Captive bearers have been provided solely for the pursual of the aforementioned purpose. Express permission is required for use of bearers in any other capacity. Das heißt, die haben die
So
Bearers
this place
eingesetzt.
was no ordinary prison. And I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled.
Das heißt, das Creature wird mein Gegner. Hm? Da drinnen. Bin mal gespannt, Doch was Schönes. Gehen wir erstmal runter. Da war ja noch mehr. Mehr Text. Recommendation concerning Kusa-beast deployment. Kusa has long been recognized as an especially aggressive species. This being the case, it was hoped that successful deployment on the battlefield might be a means of inflicting heavy casualties on the enemy. In exercises conducted thus far, however, the beast has proven incapable of distinguishing between allied and enemy combatants. As such, deployment alongside regular troops is not recommended. It is proposed instead that bearer captives be employed in order to draw enemy focus, and the beast then driven into the fray in order to achieve maximum benefit with minimal loss of Waluda's life.
Minimal loss of Waluda lives. happens when they run out of bearers. Even the Imperials take better care of their branded than that.
Do they? Kann mich noch an den einen erinnern, der sie als Spielzeug benutzt hat. Memorandum on Kusa beast feeding. Recent supply shortages left us with insufficient resources to feed the Kusa entrusted to our care. Fortunately, the creature was observed to kill and consume the bearers assigned to fight beside it in a mock battle conducted as part of its training. The beast was further observed to enter a state of visible contentment upon feeding in this way, suggesting that live bearers may even be its preferred source of sustenance. While this behavior is unexpected, warum das denn? It is not unwelcome. Bearers no longer of use for training purposes can now be repurposed as required.
They were feeding bearers to it. This is even worse than I'd feared. Nothing but a Kashyyyk down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on.
Die hat sich an den ganzen Kashyyyk vorbeigeschlichen. There's Doris, and hier müssen wir. Irgendwas. Ein Tor, aber das ist so wahrscheinlich. Nope. Tatsächlich offen. So. Schöne Effekte auf jeden Fall. Ich glaube aber, das ist. Naja, die haben schon unterschiedlich das dargestellt. Ja. Was hast du gefunden?
Downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening here.
I know. I've been reading some of these documents and it can't be true, can it? Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this is so much worse. Pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in order to bring about more death. And not just those who could fight, but the elderly, children even. And those who wouldn't or couldn't were disposed of. Whatever that means.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late. And I was a fool to bring you here.
Don't say that. Did you find anything else?
Wo ist das Monster?
Key. But it doesn't fit any of the locks on this floor.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right. I'll be there in a moment.
Ja, jetzt soll man das Vieh töten. Das ist ja richtig diszipliniert worden. Ich bin mal gespannt. Vor allem, was war in Kusa noch?
see what we can find down here.
Oh, bear mädchen.
Survivor. She sounds close.
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards. They're still here. But something's wrong with them. Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Of course they were.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. You poor thing. He must have been terrified.
Did Chadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. Distracted it so I could run away. He must have sent you. He promised to free the others too. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he?
Das ist ihr Freund, ne?
Wouldn't be here otherwise.
Chadwick.
Was that?
Monster's back! Chadwick, help!
We have to get out of here.
Doris, keep the girl safe.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the ground.
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers.
Dann komme ich hier rein. Ah. Achso, ein Kusa ist ein Behemoth? Was ist ein Behemoth? Kusa Beast. Ach, das ist ein Hand. Aber, kein S immer noch. Okay.
Least what we havoc if it ever leaves the prison. I can't let that happen.
Bleib mal am Platz hier. Wollte ich gar nicht drücken. Das explodieren lassen wir es gar nicht wahrscheinlich. Wobei, wenn ich nicht explodiere, dann wird es ja eine Weile draufschlagen. aber das ist eigentlich gar nicht einsetzt. Das Einfrieren ist so übel. Nein, ich hab gehauen. So. Oh. Perfektes Time. Oh, ein Totes. Und ich dachte, ah Mist, mein Blitz ist noch nicht ready. Dann haben wir sogar einen Handdefault. Level aber glaube ich auch.
Sid, are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think.
No.
What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here. Do you think that creature?
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last. The girl is safe thanks to him.
Chadwick. You fool.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway. We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
No. Of course not. I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope she's recovering from her ordeal.
She is. Slowly but surely. She's far tougher than she looks. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. But we did. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to him. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. To save Haida Marie. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a brother.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past. If you don't mind, that is.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. Kill and obey. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever high enough to convince her to part with us. For years we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. And then, one day, we just couldn't do them anymore. So we escaped. But staying together was out of the question. They would have found us too easily. After so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master, become a dagger in someone else's hand.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool, but as a hero.
Hyde Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off their shackles. And the Cursebreakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done. For Chadwick, and for all of us.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be counting on you.
Go by this tool. On there, level up. Cool down by 2 seconds. So, dann noch die Quest abgeben.
I hear that you traveled to Ash, Cid. Did you by any chance recover the names of my fallen friends?
I did. Yes.
Und wer hat das überlebt? Was? Concise and distinguishable detailed record of bearer orphan deaths at the Bad Bath Conservatory.
If I may? The bearer registry. The director was a brutal man. He got no worse than he deserved.
The registry was all I found beneath the tree. There was no sign of a body. Or any record of what happened to the children after the orphanage closed.
I pray that at least some of them survived. All their names are here. The ones we lost. My friends. My light in those dark times. I can still remember their faces. Like it was yesterday. Children who were taken from their bunks in the morning, never to return. No explanation ever offered.
They'd be happy to know that you survived, Herman.
But why did I make it out alive, when so many others died in that awful place?
It's not your fault. And blaming yourself won't bring them back. Honor their memory. See that their names live on. That way, at least. They're never truly gone.
Thank you. Cid, I'm going to write a book. An account of the horrors of Badbach, and the spirit of those its custodians sought to crush. All of Valisthea will know of our suffering, and in the name of those I lost, I will not let it happen again.
Neither will I.
These records would have been buried for all eternity, were it not for you. Thank you.
Ja, wie so ein Arbeitslager, wo die Juden verbrannt worden sind und gequält worden sind.
Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
No mention is made as to the name of the author, whether that is because the title page has been lost to time or because the tomb was published anonymously. It is impossible to say.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does.
No.
But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather.
Die Wahrheit wissen.
She
Ne?
was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value.
What has become not good? Your eyes. Why? Too dark? You can open that. Better? Find value in this perspective.
This perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
I try. Inconvenient truth. Yevian Nine Tails, scholarly headwear. Correspondent. Awarded to her upon the completion of her studies at the University of Canberra. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you as I do. Noch ein Christ.
like it's calling to me.
The greatest gift. It feels like a lifetime ago. It was a lifetime. That afternoon on Men's Hill was our very first adventure, but somehow I knew, even then, that it would not be our last. I will never forget that day, the simple fact that you have not either fills my heart with a joy so fierce I cannot describe it. Since the moment we first met, you have always been an important part of me, the half that makes me whole. When times are darkest, you are my light. When I am lost, you are my guiding star. You are just what I need. You are all that I need. You are the greatest gift. Oh, Lily. A note of thanks, my Lord Marquis. I write to thank you for the kind consideration you have shown for those whose names are written within the pages of the Book of Martyrs. I know that it would move them deeply to know that the first shield of the Phoenix laments their passing, though each and every member of our order stands ready to sacrifice their lives in service of the Phoenix. I do not doubt that those who are taken before their time go with regret for the long years of duty left undone. That they should live on in the memory of a proud son of House Rosfield, such as yourself, shall surely go some way to soothing their sorrows. May the phoenix flame burn ever in your heart, still a bearer of the burning quill. Making amends. Master Clive, I am aware there are matters of much greater import which demand your attention, but should you find yourself a moment, I bid you visit me in the shelves that I might ask a single favor concerning His Highness Prince Theon. Harpocrates. Oh, Harpocrates. Of course, go to him.
It's usually me making demands of Harpocrates. I wonder what this is about.
Tale to tell. Sonst habe ich ja, glaube ich, alle Quests abgeschlossen. Ja, da ist nichts mehr.
Lordsman Harpocrates.
Harpocrates.
I received your note.
Yes.
Harpocrates.
I expect you're wondering what this is all about.
You spoke of making amends with Dion, but I can't imagine what for.
Then I should begin by telling you that I was once his tutor. This was some years ago, of course, before I joined Cid in his hideaway. At that time, I was counted among the foremost scholars of Oriflamme, and was accordingly invited to the palace to supervise the young prince's education, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in, well, everything an emperor should. History, religion, commerce, government. Alas, our time together was cut short when Dion left to join the dragoons, his studies no longer being deemed
had not expected to meet with him again, least of all here.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I have yet to find the right moment. His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. I would not wish to disturb his ruminations with idle words of greeting. Not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the Dominion.
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know. But as you say, that was Ultima's doing. Surely you can't blame yourself.
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's expectations that weighed heavily upon him. And I did nothing to ease that burden. He bore it alone, until the day he could not bear it any longer. It is one of my greatest regrets that I only ever offered him my wisdom, when what he truly needed was friendship. The blame for Dion's transgressions lies not only on his shoulders, but on mine.
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way that I can.
Then I beg that you bring me a wild wyvern tail. Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is to be granted inner solace. Fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. But there is oft a seed of truth to be found where even the most outlandish opinions align.
Well, it can't hurt to try. Where can I find this flower? And how will I know it?
You have seen cultivated wyvern tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous ink for the brand is distilled. Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. The harsher the environment in which they are raised, the deeper the colour. There is a waterfall in Rickmal's Roost across the strait, where the flowers once grew in abundance. Whether they still survive there, I know not. But try as I might, I can find no likelier location.
It's all right. I'll find you a wyvern tail one way or another.
Thank you, Clive. And please, be safe.
Tail to tail. So, das machen wir den noch mit. Wieso kam der es jetzt? Von beiden Seiten muss man reiten.
Come on. Run like the wind.
Hier auf einem Chocobo zu reiten, ist echt mutig. Was würde man mit dem Pferd ständig beschäftigen? Bis es bricht.
Seems this place has been flooded twice over. Purple flowers blooming next to a waterfall. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
Und dann erstmal killen.
Let's try.
Ja, perfektes Timing für die Skills. Und ich habe noch den einen Skill vorher eingesetzt, glaube ich.
Here they are. Might as well pick enough for a bunch, I suppose.
So.
Oarsman, I found the flowers you were looking for.
You did?
I think I did.
Records suggest that the Wyvern tail was first cultivated for the purpose of distilling a purple dye from its petals. However, when the tender blooms were discovered to lose their hue over time, the gardeners of early Valencia made the fateful decision to investigate the practical properties of their roots instead. Okay.
You did indeed. My dear boy, thank you.
You wanted to make Dion a gift of one, did you not? Shall I invite him to join us?
Oh, I don't...
It's no trouble. I'll go and fetch him. Your Highness, would you do me the honor of accompanying me?
Now. It is time, then.
No. To the shelves.
Der klingt so, als würde er vor dem Richter
Master
gebracht werden.
Hippocrates. No. I dare not show my face before him. Not after everything I have done. I have taken countless innocent lives. And ruined countless more. All because I was weak. I have sworn to atone for my crimes or die in the attempt. But were I to meet with him again, and see in his eyes what I have become, I fear that my resolve might falter.
Then that is all the more reason to do it. Test your resolve. Prove to yourself, and to him, how strong it truly is.
You are right. I must, at the very least, offer him my gratitude. Very well, then. Take me to him.
Follow me.
Bring mich zu meinem Richter. Da steht er mal.
Even now, I hesitate to approach him. What must he think of me?
You'd be surprised.
Master Harpocrates, pray, accept my apologies for leaving your tutelage before my studies were complete. Your lessons opened my mind to a world quite unlike the one I had imagined from within the gilded confines of the palace. And I shall be forever grateful for the efforts you made to enlighten me.
Lift up your head, Your Highness. The deeds of youth require no apology.
Great.
That you took the time to visit me says much about the man you have become. Now, there is something I would like to show you.
Is that a wyvern tail? The color is unfamiliar to me.
Because it is unique to those found in the wild. Something in the harsh environments in which they grow lends them this striking hue. Their roots are indistinguishable from those of their hothouse cousins, but once they bloom, the difference is immediately apparent. In this flower, I see you, Your Highness. Its roots were the roots of a wyvern tail, with all that implies. But they do not define it, just as yours do not define you. I want you to have it, that it might remind you of this truth.
Master Harpocrates, I would ask of you a service. Keep your gift until I have fulfilled my duty to the realm, for only then shall I be deserving of it.
As you wish, Your Highness. I shall await your return.
Our roots do not define us. No wonder my stepmother didn't like him. For reuniting me with memories I had thought long lost. I shall not forget this.
Thank you, Clive. Were it not for you, I fear I might never have found the right moment to speak with him. Not to mention the wyvern tales. I shall plant their seeds, that I might not disappoint His Highness upon his return.
I hope the soil in the hideaway is to their liking.
Why, these flowers bloomed in the bleak, black wastes of Waloed. I'm sure Nigel's yard will suit them to a T. When it comes to expressing one's gratitude, I find that words are seldom sufficient. Here.
What's this?
A stolas quill. Or more precisely, my stolas quill. 'Tis said that an owl's feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over its long lifetime. All those words just waiting to pour out onto the page. So consider this my wish for you. That one day you may put down your sword and pick up that pen.
Well, when that day comes, I'll certainly have a lot to write about. Thank you, Harpocrates. It shall have pride of place in my chamber.
Oh, noch ein Level Up auf 90. Perfekt. Meine Lieblingszahl, die 9. Beziehungsweise 3 mal 3. Ja. Gigaflare. $5 Squill. Losman Harpocrates. Best loved writing implement. Whose nib has scribed many a learned tome. 'Tis said that an owl's feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over its long lifetime. All those words just waiting to pour out onto the page. So, da sind nur die Wünsche noch.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Your benefactors are a generous lot.
Das letzte. Ist es nicht ein Roll? Also das ist wahrscheinlich aber nichts Neues. Sail Forbidden Seas. Every a new dawn. Every epic starts with a single word. Every symphony a single note. This is but the beginning. And forever shall your legend be told. Forever shall your legacy be sung. Okay, Fallen Enigmas, The Sail Forbidden Seas.
Come again.
Habe ich das
I may have
schon?
more for you.
Ich hätte
How may I
sehen,
help you today, Clive?
ob das letzte ausgefüllt worden ist.
Here you are. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Alles eingesammelt, ha? Was hast du noch Schönes für mich? Eine Hand noch? 2. Was war das denn? Das waren die Ritter. Der Lich King. Ein S und noch ein. Also ist scheinbar. Bin mal gespannt, weil ungerade Zahl. Es geht 5, 10, 15, 20. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Vor allem 32, nicht mal 33. Das geht ja gar nicht. Was haben wir denn hier? The Wailing Banshee. Curse-breakers came across this creature while searching for survivors near the abandoned village of Garn. Garn habe ich schon gesehen. Misled by the abomination's appearance into thinking she might be a local woman, they went to offer their help, but soon it was they who were seeking salvation. The survivors say they can still hear the screams, both those of the white and those of their fallen comrades. 1 minute. The masterless marauder. The Waluda army captured such beasts and tried to train them to serve, but this particular specimen's training has long since ceased. Whether its captors turned akashic with the rest of their comrades or were eaten by other pets when it broke free from its bonds, we shall never know. All we do know is there is none left alive who knows the words to put an end to its rampage. Only a show of force will suffice. Waluda Army, okay. Klingt auch wieder nach dem Gefängnis. Und das ist auf jeden Fall in Garnik. Oder bei Garnik irgendwas. Garnik habe ich schon. Okay. Garnik. Wo ist denn Garnik? Ist das Garnik gewesen? Weiß ich ja, dass er unten zeigt, wo das ist. Zumindest bei dem einen. Das andere hat Fragezeichen. Wallut. Das ist, also beide müssten in Wallut sein. Okay, dann haben wir die Texte und Hans noch letztes Mal. Und dann kann man die Hauptquest beenden. Vielleicht nochmal eine, bis 2 Stunden dauern wird. Ich denke mal, dass die Hans nicht allzu viel Zeit wegnehmen werden. Von wo ist gar? The Edge of Infinity. War das nicht eins der Dörfer irgendwie? Ja, doch, da war ich doch vorhin gar nicht. Also hier ist eins. Das andere klingt irgendwie nach dem Gefängnis. Gut, aber dann bin ich fertig für heute. Ja, wünsche noch einen wunderbaren Tag. Und nächstes Mal kommen wir auf jeden Fall zu der Hauptstory aus. Und mein Setup ist für mich perfekt jetzt, wo ich meinen Blitz habe. Das passt ganz gut. Also ich habe jetzt nicht das Gefühl gehabt, dass der Cooldown zu lang ist. Auch wenn er länger ist als von dem Feuer. Jetzt habe ich so ziemlich alles ausgerüstet, bis auf Odin. Und von Odin war ich sowas von enttäuscht. Das ist schon traurig. Vielleicht hätte ich noch eins probieren sollen, aber die sind auch gebunden irgendwie an diesen Skill hier. Naja. Gut, dann bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao, ciao.